In this video, I'll be sharing with you how I dry detangle my very matted, very tangled, freshly washed mini twists. Yes, I said dry detangling. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe, click that notification bell, be sure to like and share this video. And to my returning subscribers, you know I love you guys. If you're interested in this video, keep watching. As you know, I am officially a twisted natural, which means I live in mini twists like 99% of the time. And one of the biggest questions I get is how do you deal with the tangles and the matting that come with washing, dealing with your hair in mini twists. So here it is, guys. My hair is freshly washed, deep conditioned. I have used a clarifying shampoo this time around, so bear with me as I try to moisturize my hair to my level best. Usually, of course, I'll be using a moisturizing shampoo, but it just so happens that this time I had to clarify my hair. So what I have in this spritz bottle is my aloe vera juice, glycerin, and water. It's not any water, it's spring water or distilled water because my tap water is quite hard, so I don't want to have that on my hair. A critical step in being able to dry detangle my mini twists is to moisturize thoroughly. I've done a lot of videos on this, but I'll show you guys once more in case you're new to the channel. I'm very generous with my products. Yes, when I say products, that includes the current humectant-rich spritz that I'm using, which contains, like I said, glycerin, aloe vera juice, and water. I like to focus my spritz on my scalp, the root of my hair, the length of my hair, and also the ends. And being generous with my spritz means that my hair has got enough hydration, enough humectants to keep it hydrated and moisturized for longer. It also provides softness to my hair, suppleness, and just overall juiciness, guys. If you struggle with dry hair, I would really encourage you to try a humectant-rich spritz, such as the one that I'm using right now. So once I apply my spritz to my hair, I like to go in and just squeeze all that moisture into the hair because you don't want that water just sitting on top of the hair. And all this does take time. As you can see, guys, my twists are pretty frizzy, pretty tangled, and I would not encourage anyone to try to do this. As in detangle your hair or your mini twists dry, unless you implement the steps that I'll be sharing in this video, and unless you're confident that you can be gentle and patient with your hair. This is not for everybody. So unless you can trust yourself to do this very well and follow step by step what I share in this video, I would not encourage you to try this. Normally, I'll go in with a leave-in conditioner, but I'm going to go straight to use my trusty castor oil because I'm actually experimenting to see how well moisturized my hair can stay with just the glycerin and aloe spritz and castor oil. So if you do use leave-in conditioners, I would say go ahead and apply your leave-in conditioner generously and then apply the castor oil over that. Now, castor oil is my favorite oil to use on my natural hair for sealing the hair. It's quite heavy, it's quite a good sealant, and it actually helps to clump my curls and lock in moisture very well and keeps my hair hydrated for longer. So I'm quite generous with the castor oil. As you can see, we want that lubrication, we want that moisture, we want that product and the softness that oils give to our hair, guys. Do not be deceived or be afraid of using raw oils and butters because somebody said that. If your hair loves them, I would encourage you to continue using them. Many naturals, including myself, will then go ahead to attempt to retwist our hair at this stage when it's damp, right? And honestly, it's doable and it's probably something that people feel safe to do. However, the frizz is crazy. Even though the hair is flexible and you feel like having it moisturized kind of helps with the detangling, for me, I've found over the years that I encounter more breakage if I try to detangle or unravel my twists at this stage. So what I go ahead to do is to actually braid my hair. Now, I do go ahead to braid the hair into small sections, so about 6 sections, I would say, because I actually retwist my hair over a period of 1 week. So having that in small sections just helps for me to deal with a small piece of hair, not a small piece of hair, a small section at any given time. And I try to braid the hair as far as I can and then twist it towards the end, because that way it helps to stretch even the ends of my hair. And that's exactly what I want these braids to do, to stretch my hair out. This is a key step that cannot be skipped if you're going to try to dry detangle your mini twists. Stretching the hair has got so many benefits. It pretty much handles all the shrinkage, guys, all the friction that can come from the tangles. You're going to see right now, this is day 3. I had to actually re-moisturize the day before. So I've moisturized my hair twice at this stage because maybe it was a clarifying shampoo that I used. I felt like the moisture wasn't great. So I had to re-moisturize my hair. And now it's completely dry, sitting in these 3 braids. And my hair is stretched. And I am ready to go ahead and start dry detangling. Starting at my ends, I gently unravel the braid. It's important to be gentle because there is quite a bit of frizz still over the top of the hair, like I just showed you previously. However, you will see very soon that the hair has actually stretched quite well. And mind you, this video is fast forwarded all the way through. So don't be deceived. I'm not actually rough with my hair. I'm very gentle with this process. But here you go. The twists are stretched. The frizz is much less than before. And you've got very well moisturized and hydrated hair that is well lubricated. And girl, you are ready to dry detangle. I'm going to show you the process of dry detangling a couple of times. So I'm going to select one twist and then I'm going to start to unravel it. Now, something different I do at this stage is that I don't necessarily start at the ends to unravel the twists because I find that the hairs at the ends are pretty fragile and it's just easier for me to make a hole in the middle of the twist and kind of untwist it, if you know what I mean, or unwind it, as you're seeing in the video. And it's important to be really gentle at this stage. This is probably the stage that you need a lot of patience for. This is the most tedious stage, but because the hair is soft, lubricated, moisturized, stretched, and dry, you actually have a lot of advantages when doing this, as opposed to if you try to do this on damp or wet hair even. So yes, you do still require to be gentle. However, it's much easier, safer, better for me anyway, with my experience and what I found, to be able to do this on dry hair, stretched hair, moisturized hair, etc. And when you find, shed hairs or hairs that are just wrapped around each other with frizz, just tag at the hair and you soon find that the hair has got direction. It's just around the corner and it will really just unravel itself out of the tangle, if you know what I mean. As you can see, I'm showing you in the video how you can easily just tag at those hairs and just ensure that you don't yank that hair out. This is the stage that you actually retain your length and your thickness. So you want to make sure you're doing this carefully and really gently, like silk, just playing with the hair, tugging at it, feeling for knots, feeling for where it ends and begins. That way you're not yanking it out. And you see the middle section there? You want to leave that alone. At this stage, don't try to detangle or unravel or separate. I'm going to show you what's going to happen as I begin to detangle. Contrary to the natural hair community, I actually start to detangle from the roots. And guys, this is the easiest part of the entire process. Detangling from the roots is much easier, and because the hair is stretched, it's really a breeze. Because the hair is moisturized, hydrated, it's really quite simple. And of course, starting to detangle from the base just works because you're trying to actually take the tangles out of the hair and not up the hair, if you know what I mean. You want the tangles, you want the shed hairs to come out. So if I were to start this from the ends of the hair, it would be tedious. I'm going to show you in the next with the next piece of hair how that looks like. But if you try to start from the tips of the hair, because the hair is dry, because the hair is quite tangled as well, it doesn't work very well if you were to start this process from the tips or from the ends of the hair. So I start at the roots and I just finger detangle, remove shed hairs, separate the hair. I mean, you can be as thorough or as lazy as you want to with this process of finger detangling. Once I started my journey as a twisted natural, I really just stopped with the whole extremely detangled hair notion. It's really unrealistic for kinky, curly, coily hair. Maybe curly hair, but definitely not for my hair type. So my hair is never fully or 100% free of tangles, if you know what I mean. And just like that, guys, the hair is detangled. It didn't take long at all. You can see there's very little resistance. The hair is gliding against each other. Shed hairs are just coming out quite easily. And that's because of the stretch. All right, so I'm going to show you what it looks like if I were to start at my ends. Just see how tedious it is. Just see how impossible it is to actually work up the hair shaft. You've got resistance. Look at that. You've got all that freeze that's keeping you from moving up the shaft of the hair. So it's safer, it's more easy, it's less time consuming to actually start at the roots. And that's just in my opinion. This is what I do, and this is what has been working. And that's pretty much it, guys. That's the video done. If this is all you wanted, that's it. I mean, I'm going to go ahead and show you another piece of hair a bit later down in the video. However, the body, the meat of the video is done. This is how I dry detangle my mini twists. This is a breeze because of the steps that I've shared. Highly moisturized hair, generously moisturized hair, humectant rich spritz, stretching, okay, and dry hair. Now, do you remember that section that was so matted at the roots? Boom, it's disappeared, just like that. So the trick here is simply to detangle each piece separately and the roots sort themselves out. That part really does sort itself out. Isn't that amazing? You don't need to tag at it. You don't need to try and detangle it. Just detangle each piece separately and allow for the roots to just magically untangle themselves. I guess by detangling those two pieces separately, you do actually end up detangling the roots without even realizing it. I'm going to show you a cool little trick for you to not borrow hair a little bit later on in the video. But guys, this is it. My mini twist is done. This is my first one. And of course, this process takes long. That's why I do it over a week. You can wear head wraps, head scarves, whatever you need while you're doing this process. Day 4, and I'm about halfway done already. It actually does not take as long as it seems. I was able to do pretty much half of my head in one day. So I'm going to need a day or so to finish the other. side of my hair, but this is how my hair is looking, guys. I'm going to show you one more time how I do this process. However, I'm going to just chat to you guys about dry detangling and why it's something that some of us might want to consider. Of course, depending on your preferences, depending on, you know, your routine, your hair, etc. Of course, this is not for everybody. But if you're someone like me who's really busy and, you know, this is a routine that works for you, being a twisted natural, if that's something you're interested in, then definitely listen up, because I've got some things to say about dry detangling. Now, let's talk about why dry detangling is actually beneficial. When the natural hair community first started, we were encouraged to use a lot of slip to detangle our hair with, you know, water and when it's damp, etc. And the main reason for that is just because of slip, okay, and elasticity. But when you really understand the state of your hair when it's wet or damp versus when it's dry, you will quickly start to see that there are actually more advantages to detangling dry as opposed to wet hair. So here it is. Hair is strongest when it's dry. Hair is actually stronger when it's dry. So yes, we do want slip. Yes, you can't hear the hair breaking, I guess, when it's wet with a lot of slip, but that doesn't necessarily mean that it's actually not breaking. And I found this to be a problem for years as I followed the rules of the natural hair community, where we're encouraged to detangle our hair wet with a lot of product and slip and all that. And when you detangle your hair with a lot of slip and product while it's wet, you actually can't hear the hair snapping. So that's another advantage of dry detangling, because if you were to break your hair, more than likely you're going to hear a snap. So we kind of shunned away from detangling our hair dry because we're like, oh, you know, it's breaking, you can hear it. But it's actually quite possible that as you're detangling your hair wet, it's breaking even more, but you actually just can't hear it. So the hair is strongest. This is research based, guys. Hair is strongest when it's dry. So it's more able to withstand manipulation, brushing, detangling, etc. When the hair is dry, it's also possible to have hair that's stretched. So the stretch, as you can see in this video, is really helping with a lot of those tangles. I don't know about you, but when you detangle your hair wet, sometimes you feel like you do a thorough detangle, but the minute you're done, the tangles are back. Well, that's because there is shrinkage. When the hair is dry, there's no shrinkage happening, right? If there's any, it's very little. So you don't have that issue when the hair is dry, and that way you can actually detangle easier. Another thing is that the cuticle is closed. The cuticle is closed when the hair is dry. That means more gliding, easier gliding, and less friction, between the hair strands, which is very different. And I guess you can say, oh, you get a lot of slip from your products, your your detangling conditioners, etc. However, you're dealing with an open cuticle most likely, and you're dealing with shrinkage, and you're dealing with tangles, and you're dealing with weak hair, and you're dealing with hair that you cannot hear when it breaks. Girl, these things come with experience. And like I said, you don't have to try this. This is just me, what I've learned and what I'll be doing moving forward. I'm not saying I'll never wet detangling. Of course, there's a place for wet detangling, but dry detangling has got so many benefits. And I guess if you master the fact that your hair has to be moisturized, you do it gently, you are more likely to retain more length with dry detangling, in my opinion. Now, if you run out of hair towards the end, like I have, just go ahead and relax your twist, okay? Just pass your fingers a couple of times and then go ahead to find your pieces again. Usually you'll find that you actually have enough hair to continue the twist all the way to the end without borrowing your hair. There you go. That's a little trick that I learned over the years. All right, ladies, I am done. I am feeling good. I love my hair. I love my mini twists. I love my twisted natural lifestyle that I am on. Like I've said many times in many videos, this channel is not a I know it all channel. This is a channel that is focused on sharing reality, sharing my hair journey, sharing the fact that your routine, your natural hair practices, your knowledge doesn't have to be perfect, but you can keep improving on your hair and keep retaining your length as you go. You can keep enjoying your hair as you go. Like I said before, dry detangling is not for everybody. I can do a separate video just on dry detangling, sort of dry detangling versus wet detangling, and just compare the two methods. If you guys are interested, comment below and say detangling video please, and I will go ahead and make the video for you guys, because I love you guys. But anyway, this is my hair. How beautiful does it look? How beautiful is natural hair, guys? Like, I love my hair. Be sure to subscribe, guys. I am on my way to 15,000 subscribers. I personally think I'm underrated for whatever reason, but do me a favor and subscribe, like, share this video. Bye.